Good morning. Today is the 24th of July 2024 and I'm going to go through some of my trade ideas and plans for today. Before we start, let's look at what could move the market today. We had some news at 8:30 and we only just saw a bit of a negative reaction to that, but we've been seeing a bit of a negative reaction since the close of play yesterday. We've got news at 9:45, which is the PMI, so that potentially could move the market. News at 10, home sales, and oil news at 10:30. And I think that's pretty much it. We've got Fed speaking after the market. So that's it really. 9:45, 10 and 10:40 could be. So if you're in a trade, then be wary as it could move the market a bit. So on my screen is go to the ES first. It's the ES. And we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and we've got a couple of levels here which I'm watching for, and we've got a couple of higher risk ones. Find my mouse. Just want to mark off this area first. So that's my first bounce area I'm watching for today, a major area. If I just scroll out, you can see it's a big area where we've got tops of candles, bottoms of candles, and we've got the point of control coming in as well, which is this area of volume on the volume profile, and this orange red line shows us where the most amount of volume has been trading in the last few weeks, and that's around 55.30 area. I'm watching really for a bounce down in this region, but I'll keep an eye for something coming in all the way down to 55, basically 5500. That's a psychological number. That's the area I'm watching. On the subject of 5500, let's flick over to SPX, because we are also coming into the same level, 5500, so we might be close to that when we open today. So if we're coming into that area and we're looking for a bounce, then we want to make sure we're above 5500 on SPX. I've got an alert already set just above this white line, so when we get down into this region, I'll just bring it down a little bit more to within about 5 ticks. So when we get down into that region, I'll be looking for longs. Now I'll be looking for longs basically on the ES around here. So you can see we're right down there at the moment, so we might be opening a similar place on SPX. If we don't bounce in that area, that's my bounce area I'm watching for at the moment. Keep an eye on the market, and I'll go into a 2-minute chart in a second. I'm looking for a bounce up into this region, and that's my first rejection area, which is 55.84.75. Area of confidence, we've got tops of candles, and then we've got we break through, and what was the ceiling became the floor. Came down, held it, really hold it there, came back up, broke through, retested it again, and then we gapped down below it. So we're now right in this region. That's the area I'm watching for the rejection. So 55.80 to 55.90. That's the first area. This is the next prime area I'm watching, 55.43 for a bounce. We might be bouncing right now, so I'm going to go into what my plan would be. And then if we do lose that area, then I'm watching this region for a bounce as well, 5500. And we've got a major rejection area up here as well, 56.40, 56.30. So I'll be looking for a similar double top from yesterday's high back down again. Just to note the moving averages, we are curving over now. We are below all the major hourly moving averages right now. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Okay, well, we're still above the 50 moving average. That's our, if we break below the 50, then that's our change of trend on the daily. But we are below the 20 and the 8 moving average as well. Looking pretty weak. One thing I did notice last night on the hourly was a nice head and shoulders pattern setting up, and had it not been after market, I probably would have taken the short, and it would have been a good short. We talked about key areas yesterday and the day before, so this is our first key area, this is our second key area, and you can see yesterday we came into that area and rejected it, and now we couldn't hold this key area and we've broken down through that. So our next key area to watch for is this 55.20 area on the daily. So that's a key area to watch if we're going to hold it or are we going to lose it. 50 moving averages down there as well. Volume wise, we sold off on increasing volume, so you can see the big increase in volume, quite a lot above high volume, and then we pulled back. So this green candle here is the pullback, and that's on average volume. And then yesterday was more of a indecision day on reducing volume. It's what you would see on a bit of a pullback, and then we've broken down through there. So you can see this is just reducing volume as price is increasing. So there's a bit of a divergence and kind of volume price analysis almost to the T. Let's go back to the hourly. We're right in this bounce area now, so I'm watching for a bounce. Let's just put a level in. 55.43 is a high risk bounce because we're close to where it is. And let's go into the 2 minute. So what I'm looking for, which I may just take it during this session, is this is our trend line, which we've broken, we pulled out. I want to see it come back and retest that area, and then I'm looking for the move, maybe as we break above that area there, or maybe a solid move down here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, break a trend and a retest, a double bottom or a higher low or something like that, either that or a double bottom. Doesn't matter if it breaks the low, I'm just looking for the change of direction, because there's a bit of volume down here, and even if it breaks the low, then I'll still keep an eye on for a bounce, because you might have a lot of stops sitting below there right now, and you may just get stops triggering. And the smart money will be getting their better prices, selling off these shares, making a loss on them, get better entry down here before they drive it back up again. Okay, so that's kind of my plan for that level. I'll keep an eye on that. That's it, just recap levels, watching for a bounce down at 55.44 where we are now. A rejection, 55.83. Hard to go long at the moment because we're in a bit of a downtrend on the hourly, and we've got a lot of junk above as well, lots of potential overhead, resistance and support. And then I'm watching for a rejection up here at 56.40 area down to yesterday's high. So free, and obviously we've got the bounce down in this level down here as well, 5500, 5510. So 4 levels, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This was a previous area of demand, or it was supply, and then it became demand, and you see we held it and now we broke through. That's why I've left it highlighted, because it's just to draw my attention. But 55.84 is the area I'm watching. SPY next. Same as ES. We've got this major area down here. You can see we've got all these bottoms of candles, and then we've got tops of candles. So it's a big area of demand. We've got the point of control, so there's been existing volume down here. So if we get back down into this region, 542.86 is a bounce area for me. We've got to lose this level here, so let's get rid of that one. I'm not too interested in that one. I'm also watching for the same bounce, 548.77, same area, 548.38, that area for a bounce. It's like we just talked about on ES. Pre-market high, difficult to go long. You can maybe watch out for a rejection. Area confidence, tops of candles, bottoms of candles, more bottoms over here as well, and a gap as well. So watch out for a rejection, higher risk. But this is the main area, 556 to 557 for the rejection. You can see a big area of confluence, big area of supply. Tops of candles there became bottoms, and then it retested yesterday. So that's it for SPX. SPY we just spoke about, watching 555, which is this region here. Sorry, 5500. Watching for a bounce there. And maybe we can watch 5600 for the rejection up here if we can get through there. If we lose this level, 54.50 for a bounce, and we've got tops candles, bottoms of candles there, area confluence, and look at that, a massive big volume spike on the volume profile, and our point of control down here. So this is a likely bounce area as well. So as with I don't trade SPX directly, but I keep an eye on it. If I want to go long ES, I want to make sure I'm only going long if I'm above one of the levels. if I want to go short on ES, I only want to go short if we're below one of the levels. So I don't want to be going short into an area of potential demand or support. NQ next. It's kind of lost that level now. One thing about NQ, I noticed on QQQ, which I'll get to in a minute, anything below this area, which where we are now, we're in this big volume void. So there's nothing really to slow it down, nothing to hold it up. There's no volume there. Potentially the only place we've got is 19,200, 19,200 area of confidence, tops of candles, bottoms of candles, volume shelf as well. So that's the next bounce area. So maybe, and the same with ES as well, if we pull back into this region, we want to break and retest short, and then we can watch for that. Let's go back to ES because I want to add that into the plan as well. It's a bit more volume on ES, but if we can break that pivot, come back and retest it, I'll consider a break and retest. A bit like the break and retest here, where we held this level, we broke it, we came back, we retested it perfectly and sold off. I'm watching the same here. Break, retest, sell off. So that's got two levels down here. QQQ. I just mentioned that there's a massive big volume void. This area here, lack of volume. So this is an area to watch out for. Really want to find a short in here somewhere. Down and then up, we've got a bounce area in that region. 464 to 464 bounce. Area of, this area here is an area of demand. You can see last time there was a small move down and big reaction to that. So that's the key area. We're either going to watch it for a bounce or a break and retest short. This is another key area up here. I'm not a big fan of this area now because it's quite a lot of, it's not very nice levels there. But if we get back up into yesterday's high, we've got tops of candles, bottoms where I thought about it, tops of candles, we haven't quite got there back there yet. 486.28 for a rejection. We'll cross this area if we get there. We're quite a long way off for now. Note also we've got lots of volume over this area, so I wasn't a big fan of trading around this area. So we really need it to either get above here. If we do get above here side, we can watch for the long. We've got to basically hold above 486. Or we can watch for the rejection. And based on the volume point of control, if we move up into the pre-market high area, we can potentially watch that for a rejection as well. We've got lots of volume there and potential resistance above. Crude oil. So we held this channel for quite some time, for all of July. Wonky lines. We tested it outwards, we came back, retested, couldn't hold. We then held it down here, retested, broke through, and we're right back up into this retest area. So this is a retest right now. So 77, 75, break and retest while we've broken it. Now we come back in for the retest. We can watch for a very high risk rejection right now. If we come back into this region, 78, 88, we can watch that area for rejection. And or I quite like yesterday's low. This area 76.40 for a bounce. Not much volume, not as much up here, but we've got a bit of confluence. Tops of candles, bottoms of candles, and area of demand just there. So we came into that demand area yesterday. I think that's yesterday, and bounced. And then we can watch, see what happens again if we come back in for a bounce, or we're going to lose it. If we do lose it, let's find the next level down. I like this area here, 75.50, 75 to 75.42 for the next bounce area. We may have missed the rejection off of this trend line, break and retest. In fact, if you look at it on the hourly, it's just broken that candle, so it could be a short right now if I want to play a swing. We've got a bit of room down as well. I'll take a look at that in a second. I'm still keeping an eye on ES for a potential pre-market bounce, but I might just wait for the market to open now, see what direction the market goes, and then try and find a trade. Gold. I had a bit of a break-even trade on gold yesterday. Where was yesterday? Tuesday, around here. I was long gold. It was came down in. I was looking at this head and shoulders pattern basically, and I was long. I think I got long there. Or it might have been a little bit. I can't remember my exact times. But I was long when it pulled back. It came back, and some stopped out. In fact, it was better than break even actually, because I just closed my trade in the end. It broke out, came back in. I moved one of my contracts to break. I only had 2 contracts. I was just playing very low risk, low amount. As I'd already did my trade yesterday, decent trade yesterday. And then I think I got out about there, thinking so. It's a little bit in profit. I was going to hold it. And it was just about, I think it was about 3 PM I got out in the end yesterday. Where was that? About there, yeah, exactly there. That's where I got out. So it's okay. The idea worked. You can see the idea worked really well. But with my Apex, I need to be out of trades by the end of the day. So I couldn't hold it for a swing. Maybe I should have thought about holding it for a swing on a different account. But that worked out perfectly, and we talked about that as well in the pre-market. I had my alert live as well. As for today, I was about to say it's coming into a rejection area. We may have just touched it. This is this region here. Let's just fine tune it based on that pivot there and the more recent pivots. And if I'm only looking there, but I know straight away it was exactly on. Looking for most touches of these pivots, and then bottoms and tops of these candles, and you move across. Look where it came up to. Perfectly rejected it. Sack level. So the levels I have on my screens are only estimates. I literally just eyeball them, and then later on I might fine tune them, but I'm just looking for areas. So they're not exact areas, and when I give a level out, I'm giving a region. I may say it's 4, 23, 24, 23, 20, but what I'm really saying is it's around 40, 24, 43, 24, 23 area. So it's always an area, not a line. So rejection, we can watch this area for a rejection. It's not going to be a very strong rejection. Notice the lack of volume over here as well. Really, we've got to watch this area. It's an area of supply. Last time was up there, a double top, and then a big rejection. So we can watch these 2 areas, 42, 24.70, 24.88 for the rejection. Okay, RTY, which I took a loss on yesterday. And now I'm looking at it, I don't know how, frustrating, but I think it's RTY. I can't remember. No, it wasn't, it's YM actually. So RTY, I'm saying it's definitely not what I took. Broke the trend, came back up, bit of a retest, not quite the retest we want back down here, but we broke it, and now we're back up. So first wave, second wave, potentially we can watch for a break over pre-market high. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to put an alert in for the break and retest over pre-market high to continue the trend. We're in a big uptrend. Looks like just a big flag pattern up here. So very bullish at the moment. No real rejections really, but I do quite like the bounce down here on the fibs 50%. So we're leaving that in place because it's still in play until we break it or not. So 21.88 bounce or break and retest of 22.60, higher risk because we have got a pivot above, but better still if we can break over yesterday's high. It kind of rejected directly off this yellow line's a daily level, and we'll watch for the break. So that's the area to watch. And then YM, this one I took a loss on yesterday. I believe it was a loss. The reason I was looking for a breakout and a break and retest, so they don't always work out. So we had this key area here, and so this is the key area, and you can see a big sell off into that area, and I went long. Where did I go long? So my long was here. It was the break. In fact, I added one there and I added one down here, and it was kind of working for a bit. It just couldn't quite get over this level. Maybe I should have waited for it to break over that level, break and retest long, which I'm gonna watch for today still. And I probably would have been not in a trail. I might have just been trailed in. I would have stopped out anyway, probably. But I was in a little bit earlier, preempting it, and I eventually stopped out. I think I got stopped out on that pullback there. So I went long there. Like I said, it was working for a bit. It was doing really well. I just wanted it to get over there. I didn't take any profit on it, and I just stopped out. So levels for today is break and retest off yesterday's high if we can get up there. But what I'm seeing right now is this downtrend in the hourly, only over the last few days, and then a bit of a flag, and then the sell off again. But if you look at the daily, we're right in these tops, so we could be still looking at a break and retest. So if you were to just draw an area, this area here for the break and retest, we're well within that. Maybe the break and retest will be better suited for a swing play for the bounce to wherever. Is it all-time highs? I believe it is. Yeah, all-time highs as well. But it's looking very strong, looking very bullish, and just want to play trend continuation. So here's something watching on the daily. Naturally, we can wait for us to come into maybe this level or even the 20 moving average for a bounce. 40,000 down here, psychological level, so that's maybe a natural area we can watch for a bounce, maybe to retry that trade again if we get down there. Back to the hourly, see if we can find an out level. 40,000 is the only area you can see, big area of confluence, tops of candles, bottoms of candles. So it was the ceiling, it became the floor. We've yet to come back down to retest this region. I'm getting rid of that one. It's a very light interest there. Unless it's something further back. Let's just put it back again for a second. Yeah, I'm not sure. Volume declines a bit. It's that area now. I don't like that. Let's get rid of that one. So that's the only bounce area down here at 40,000. Or we can watch for the trend continuation, break and retest over yesterday's high. And I'd only consider it over yesterday's high because we don't want to go over pre-market high because we're kind of under. We need to get back over this trend line, back over above all the moving averages. Finally, Bitcoin, and we'll look at a bit of order flow. Let's go on the daily. I'll change my chart a little bit, so I just marked up on there where I took profit, where it says out, there, there, and there. So again, I took it because I saw volume coming into the market, and we were overextended as well, and you can see it's a perfect out. And in fact, where I took my outs was exactly what defined this channel. So pretty much I was reading the market correctly. If you look on the global scheme, this is a daily, massive big uptrend now, and then we got this pattern, so it's a cup and saucer pattern, and I added up here recently, and I also added down here at the bottom of this channel. I'm going to keep adding when we get down to the bottom of this channel, but I've just added a couple of days ago, a couple of times up here, trying to preempt a breakout. That's basically it. But if it doesn't break out, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to add again down there, and I'll keep my average price. I think my average price is probably about here, around that area. So doing okay. Like I said, I don't have a massive amount, but I'm just playing it speculatively because I know it's pretty volatile. Levels I'm watching for a bounce down at 50,000. That's when I'll probably add a bit more in. Levels on this trend line as well, and potentially a break and retest on this trend line. We can watch for a breakout. All-time highs is around about 73, I think, 73.80, 74. So, but we are looking pretty bullish, and we've yet to break down from this channel. So keep an eye on this. Let's have a look at order flow quickly, see if there's anything unusual happening, and then we'll call it a day. We've got 4 minutes before the market opens. Just to recap the levels I'm watching, we're right at an area we're watching. This is an hourly level, so the order flow will be quite